With talk of different drivers going to different teams and different teams moving up to the Cup Series, there's been a lot of rumors swirling around. And one of them has had a little credence to it, and that is of JR Motorsports heading up to the Cup Series. Let's be honest, it's not even for sure that it's actually going to happen, but it does lead people to really stop and think, what if JR Motorsports went up to Cup? Well, that's what I want to talk about right after this. Blue light glasses are everywhere these days, but most of them overpromise and then always underdeliver or underachieve. See, screens produce the most blue light of anything that we usually see during the day. But you might be asking, what is blue light? I make it sound like something bad, but after all, it's actually all around us. It's everywhere, and it's not all bad. But the problem becomes overexposure to blue light. And because of this, we get eye strain, fatigue, headaches, migraines, blurry vision, you name it. So what makes Felix Grey different? Well, to start with, the original optical lenses relieve most eye strain symptoms from daily screen time. I have the Carver design, which is a really good design, and it really forms nicely against my face. And if you don't love your glasses, in the first 30 days, the in-house customer care team will take care of exchanges and returns. No hassle, no questions asked. So get yourself some glasses that are designed for the 21st century and designed for modern, hardworking eyes like yours. You have nothing to lose except, well, maybe some of your vision. So show your eyes some love, and your eyes will get said love back to them. So be sure to get your pair of Felix Grey today. Now, I want to say from the start that this is not me reporting on this. I have no insider knowledge on this. This is simply what I think could happen if JRM moved up to Cup and how I think it would affect the rest of the NASCAR Cup Series. So first off, why would it be a good idea for them? Because, let's be real, it's going to be a lot more expensive to have a Cup ride than probably 2 or 3 Xfinity rides put together. So, a big reason is the new car. This new car is really changing the game for all NASCAR teams. And in doing that, it also means that a fresh start can be much easier for a new team to jump up. So, with the new car, and a lot of other things that really can help JRM around them, this might be the best possible time to jump into the NASCAR Cup Series in comparison to any other year. Another one is the fact that charters are everywhere. Yeah, they might be expensive, but they are available at this time. There might not be another time where so many charters from so many teams are either available to buy or lease as there are today. You saw, for instance, that Colleague just got 2 charters for their team in 2022, and who knows who's going to get more from that point on. You know that Rick Ware Racing is leasing different charters out. You don't know if this kind of opportunity could come again. So if you're ever going to jump in, as Dale Jr. had said, now is the time. The big one, though, in my opinion, is the support that they have. And that is from Hendrick Motorsports, which is currently the best team in NASCAR. But like I said, with a new car, it means that everything resets. So why would we take what we know about Hendrick right now at complete face value? Well, because of history. Hendrick Motorsports was the best team in 2007 with the car tomorrow. And they were also the best team overall when it came to the Gen 6 in 2013. They won the championship in both years and had drivers who were very consistent and ran up in the championship fight for most of the year. All their teams also won in that season. So you can kind of see where I'm coming from in thinking that when a new car is introduced into the Cup Series, Hendrick more than likely is going to be the team that capitalizes most. So those affiliated with Hendrick Motorsports are probably going to be the ones who also capitalize most outside of the main organization. Look, for instance, at Haas Racing before Tony Stewart jumped in. In 2007, they weren't anything special whatsoever. But when you look at the initial Car of Tomorrow races, they actually ran in the top 10 for a lot of those. Jeff Green in the 66 was in the top 10 for races like Bristol, Martinsville, and Phoenix right at the get-go. But in having a Cup ride, well, you have to ask who's going to drive it. And I think that there's a few different drivers who can really be put in the limelight with this. Now, you got the guys from JRM, and you got maybe a free agent or two that you could put in. Let's start with the JRM guys first. First off, we got Justin Allgaier. Allgaier would be a very, very safe choice. He has the sponsorship backing, he has the experience, and he has the trust of all of JRM. He's their longest tenured driver at the moment in the Xfinity Series, so there's no reason to think he's someone that Dale Jr. wouldn't trust with his first Cup Series car. Plus, he's shown with good equipment he can perform. So if JRM wants to perform from the start of their Cup tenure, I'd say that Justin Allgaier is a very good choice. Now, another good choice that's trusted by many at JRM would be that of Josh Berry. Now, this may be a bit of recency bias, seeing how Berry really hasn't been in the Xfinity Series all that much until this year. Jumping into a car that is probably well above the range that he normally would drive at a Touring Series level, and performing at a top-tier level, winning an Xfinity race even, that is amazing. And I think that he's shown he has enough raw talent, and he has the trust of JRM. I think the biggest question would be sponsorship. And then the last JRM driver I think would be a good fit to jump up would be the young gun, Noah Gragson. Sure, Noah probably hasn't had the same kind of successes in his career compared to guys like Allgaier, and he hasn't been as hot as of late to teammates like Berry. But he is somebody who is incredibly talented. He's somebody who, if it wasn't for bad luck, would have won a few more races in the past year and a half. And he's somebody who has a ton of popularity and name recognition already in his career. I'm not saying that he's going to be somebody jumping up there who's going to be as popular as Chase Elliott, or as loathed by the fan base either as Joey Logano or Kyle Busch. What I'm saying is he's somebody who's going to get the needle moving with the hardcore NASCAR fan. But I would say put his other two teammates ahead of him at this time. I think he still needs about a year or two to move up and be really competitive as a driver in Cup. Now, the last one is someone who's been rumored to go to 2311 amongst other teams, but I think would also be a good fit, and that is Kurt Busch. Yeah, that's going to be kind of weird seeing Kurt Busch drive for Dale Earnhardt Jr., but let's be real, if you're going to start up a team, is there somebody who is any more safe to pick than a veteran of over 20 years in the Cup Series by the time you jump in? Kurt has been through the ringer through his career. Much of that has been self-inflicted, but he's learned from it and become a much smarter and more calculated driver because of it. And I think that that kind of expertise would be a good way for the first year or two to set a team like JRM forward towards a good future. Plus, he also has the connection with Monster, so sponsorship more than likely wouldn't be an issue for at least part of the season. Now, there's other things you can ask about the semantics of it, the small little details or things that really in the grand scheme of things don't matter. But there is one thing I think would be really cool and I think is on the table. You gotta have the 88 car. That car, whether a lot of fans would like to think about it or not, is just as synonymous with Dale Jr. as the 8 car. So having Dale Jr. have ownership of that number, I think would be really, really fitting for that to be his first car in Cup with JRM. But with that being said, again, I'm just some schmuck on the internet. What do I know? For all I know, I might have just said the entire plan, or I could be completely off. So I want to pass this topic on to you. What do you think? Should JRM move up to the Cup Series? And if so, how do you think it would go? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content, and if you want to support the channel, you can join the channel memberships option. And until next time, have a good one.